So here's the A-level OCR PE resource for tracking the complete specification. And you can see here a number of things which will be useful to you. First of all, we've got all the content on the left-hand side here. That's the whole entire course, and you can see down at the bottom I've got physiological factors, psychological factors, and social cultural factors, and they follow exactly the same format. So you've got your content here, you've then got the facility to add a teacher or teachers' names, 3 or 4. You can copy and paste and create more columns if you wish. This is really useful if you've got a large department and you need to track the teachers and what each of the teachers or what each of the sets are doing and what they're covering and when they're covering them, etc. So the first thing that you can do is, if we look at the elbow flexion extension, if I go across to that one there, once that particular topic has been covered, the teacher can simply put in a Y or a yes and move away from the cell, and that turns green, and that will tell you that that particular topic has been covered. So that obviously is really useful for you to keep track on the areas that have been covered and the areas of which are yet to be done. And that is helpful if, for example, you are setting up some kind of assessment mid-term or after a period of time where you want to know what content and topics have been covered and which haven't been, so you can include or exclude specific material. Now, moving across to the right hand side at the top here, you can see that I've actually included up to 30 students, so you can put the names of the students in there, and then for each one of the topic areas, the teachers and yourselves can track the their mastery and their learning. So for example, with student 1, obviously we changed their name. With the elbow flexion extension, we might set up a little task activity to assess their knowledge and understanding and their mastery. And if they do really well and you're happy and they're happy that they have that knowledge secure, we could put a 3 into there, and then we move away from that cell. That turns green, and that will tell us that he or she is secure in that particular knowledge. If we go back to that cell and put a 2 in there, move away, that changes to orange, and that will indicate to you, your teaching staff, that there's still some gaps and some knowledge for that individual to work on, so that would require revisiting. And then if you enter a 1 in there, that goes red, and that shows some alarm bells for you that there's quite a considerable amount of gaps in knowledge there, and intervention is required. So you can track the pupils' progress in terms of their knowledge and understanding with regards to each of the topic areas as well as content covered. Now, if we scroll right down, you can see that I've actually followed the format of the AS content first, followed by the A-level content second. So all the content you can see at the moment is AS or year 1 content, and then further down, and physiology, as we know, is huge, further down it goes blue. This is all A-level content or A2 content if you're following it in a linear pattern. Now, I've done that because I think it makes it easier for teachers to understand and get their heads around it. However, you may decide in your school or your centre that you want to do it in a different way, but nevertheless, the content is here, and it's just coloured to show you and indicate to you that the blue is the A-level content. Similarly with the psychology, scrolling down, you've got the blue towards the bottom, and then your social cultural is exactly the same. So hopefully you will find this a really useful resource. I can tell you I've certainly have myself. It's been really useful for me and for my colleagues to make sure we covered all the content and have an indication of where our students are and what types of intervention is needed for each of them. I hope you find this resource useful. As I said, we certainly have.